Hello everyone, my name is Siti Fatimah Bayu Oktafiardiani. Today I'd like to share with you about my paper that I've been made about several weeks ago. Now let's get started. As you can see on the screen, our topic today is about art. Firstly, I'm going to present you about the definition of art. Every human being have unique things that is not shared by other creators. Human existence manifests in the four things, namely art, religion, science, and philosophy. In every human being, there must be the most basic art, and it is called the art of living life. Art has a meaning as everything created by human that contains elements of beauty and is able to arouse the feelings of others, and is an expression of feeling and soul. It is the crystallization of an idea that derives from imaginative soul experience through observation and deep thinking on the phenomena of social environment. Through the intellectual ability and motivation to raise an intuitive vibration that stimulates inner emotion to be artistically expressed through the language of visual artwork. And the next thing is terminology. Art in Indonesia came from the Sanskrit word seni, which can be interpreted as worship, offerings, and service that are very closely related to religious ritual ceremonies. Then, according to Padma Puspita, the word genie came from Dutch genie and Latin as genius, which means extraordinary abilities are brought from birth. While the term art is related to the Latin word ars, meaning art, skill, or craft, the first known use of the word comes from 13th century manuscript. However, the word art and its many variants have probably existed since the founding of Rome. And for the equipments, there are several kinds of tools used to create an artwork, and the most basic of them are as follows below. However, there are other tools that may be specifically used with different working techniques as well. And this is the examples of the equipments that you need to use for making art. In this talk, I would like to concentrate on Dante Gabriel Rosseti's artwork called Lady Lilith. Lady Lilith is one of the most famous paintings by Dante. The painting is one of a series of Rosseti paintings of such mirror pictures from pre-Raphaelite era. Other painters soon followed with their own mirror pictures with narcissistic female figures, but Lady Lilith has been considered the epitome of the type. Pre-Raphaelitism is used to refer the brainchild of three young Roman painters who found themselves disillusioned by what they believed to be the stuffy convention of the academy as microcosmic artistic reflection of the values of society. The pre-Raphaelites made great use of symbolic signifiers, items whose hidden meaning were not only well established but immediately recognizable to a Victorian audience. Pre-Raphaelite painters sought to revive the simplicity and realism of early Renaissance art and featured medievalism that created the impression of Middle Age. And for the name of World Nation and World Organizations. At the moment, the oil painting version of this art is in the Art Museum of Delaware, while a large 1867 replica of Lady Lilith painted by Rosseti in watercolor, which shows the face of comfort, is now owned by New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. Moreover, the painting has been exhibited in many places around the world. In the next section, I will talk about the basic techniques and his story. The painting was ordered by Frederick Leyland, who received the drawing in the spring of 1869, with the size of canvas is 96.5 cm times 85.1 cm and painted with an oil paint. Rosseti worked on the painting for several years and created at least 4 drawings related to the composition for study, such as study for Lady Lilith, as well as the watercolor replicas. The original model was a Fanny Carford. However, in 1872, the patron wanted the Carford figure replaced because it was deemed too sensual. Then Rosseti reworked his composition using a new model. She is Alexa Wilding. Unlike the Victorians, their subjects were strong, grotesque, and static. Rosseti's pieces particularly stood out as his subjects were dominant, quite relentless, impassive, and taut. All these traits are embodied through Alex's posture and physical characteristics. Many of Rosseti's artworks feature related poetry on frames, and thus were published in several volumes. Lady Lilith symbolizes a strong woman who dominating over men. In the background, there is a bouquet of white flowers. The roses symbolize sincere and pure love. There are also flowers in the foreground. It's a red poppy as a symbol of oblivion. Near the mirror are foxgloves, which means insincerity. A beautiful woman sitting behind a mirror looks threatening, angry, but strong-willed. The audience's attention immediately drew into her long, luxurious blonde hair. It symbolized extraordinary sexuality, and oftentimes they are equated with a powerful force and power. Well, this brings me to the end of my presentations. As a final point, I'd like to summarize the main issues of this topic. Russians were fascinated by women's physical allure, and here was Imogen's legendary femme fatale as a self-absorbed 19th century beauty who combs her hair and seductively exposes her shoulders. Nearby, flowers symbolize different kinds of love. In Jewish literature, the enchantress Lilith is described as Adam's first wife, and her character is underscored by lines from goats' attached by Rosseti to the original frame. The artist's mistress, Fanny Carford, is in the center in this watercolor, which Rosseti and his assistant done best on an oil of 1866 west on the Delaware River. Thank you for listening. I hope you will have gained an insight in that topic. See you.